Day 496 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 2785, sort vowels in a string. The difficulty level is medium, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given a zero index string S, permute S to get a new string T such that all consonants remain in their original places. More formally, if there's an index I with 0 that is less than or equal to I and I is less than S dot length such that S of I is a consonant, then T of I is equal to S of I. The vowels must be sorted in non-decreasing order of their ASCII values, more formally for pairs of indices I and J with 0 being less than or equal to I less than J, and J less than S dot length, such that S of I and S of J are vowels, and then T of I must not have a higher ASCII value than T of J. Return the resulting string. The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U, and they can appear in lowercase or uppercase. Consonants comprise all letters that are not vowels. All right, y'all, so that may seem a little bit confusing at first, so let's go ahead and take a look at these examples to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So before we get into these examples, let's go over what this ASCII values are. So the ASCII value is the numeric code that represents a character in the ASCII character set, right? And the ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So just for an example, right? So we have a list of characters and they each have a numerical value. So in the ASCII values, capital A starts at 65, or all the capital letters are from 65 to 90, or from 65 to 90. So let's say A would be 65, and then capital A would be 65, and capital Z would be 90, right? And then we will come and do the lowercase letters, and then for the lowercase goes from 97 to 122. So a lowercase a is equal to 97, and lowercase z is equal to 122, and then there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so all the other letters fall in between these, right? So capital B would be 66, capital C would be 67. Similarly down here, all the way down to Z, and then all the way down here we have lowercase b would be 98, lowercase c would be 99, and so on all the way till we get to lowercase z. So that's just how the ASCII values work. And we want to sort the vowels of the sorted in non-decreased order of their ASCII values, right? So that just means increasing order. So let's take a look at example 1 so we could see what that looks like. So in example 1, we have our input S equals LeetCode. But pay attention to that we have a capital E in Leet and we have a capital O in code. So we want to sort these two vowels. The output becomes L capital E capital O T C E D E, right? So what they did here was they took this string, then they just sorted the vowels only, and their ASCII values in increasing order, or as they say up here, non-decreasing order, but that means increasing order, and I'll show you how. So capital E in the ASCII would be 69, and then the O, capital O, would be, sorry, that's a 0, capital O would be 79, right? So that's why the E comes before the O, because we're sorting them in increasing order by their ASCII values, or non-decreasing order. Increasing order or non-decreasing order, same thing. But that's why the E comes before the O, because O has a higher ASCII value than capital E, or capital O, I should say, has a higher ASCII value than capital E. And then the rest of the vowels are just E, so they could stay in their same order, right? It's just two E, so it doesn't matter which one comes first because they're both E. Then notice how all of the consonants are in their same position, right? So the T's, the L's, everything is not a vowel. So in this case, the L, the T, the C, sorry y'all, the C and the D, they don't move. We're only sorting the vowels. So explanation says capital E, and capital O and lowercase e are the vowels in S. Then lowercase l, lowercase t, lowercase c, and lowercase d are all consonants. The vowels are sorted according to their ASCII values, and the consonants remain in the same places. And that's how we got this output from this input. So let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. And they throw a little trick question in our here, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. But it says input S equals a string length, or L capital Y M P capital H. The output is unchanged length L capital Y M P capital H. Explanation says there are no vowels in S. All characters in S are consonants, so we return length for L Y M P capital H, the same thing that the input was. Now I'll tell you it's a trick question because sometimes Y can be a vowel, but as you can see up here, it tells us clearly that the vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So there are no, Y is not included as a vowel in this problem. So that's why it's just the same, right? We don't have to change anything. And even if it was, there would only be one vowel, so we wouldn't move it anyway. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Y'all, solution is not that difficult at all, so let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert the input array, we're going to convert the input string into an array of characters for easy manipulation. So as you can see right now, S is a string. We're going to convert S into an array by saying let R equal an array, open up the parentheses and put in S. Now S is an array of, now R is an array of S. Boom. Then we're going to define a set containing both uppercase and lowercase vowels. So once again, for the ASCII values, they go by uppercase and lowercase. Each uppercase letter and lowercase letter has a different value. That's why we need to store both uppercase vowels and lowercase vowels. So we're going to say let vowels colon is going to be a set, open up, or it's going to do the less than sign, character. So it's going to be a set of characters, then put the greater than sign. We're going to set that equal to, so we're going to initialize it with we're going to pass in our vowel. So we're going to say put a string, capital A, or open up the quotation marks, capital A, open up the quotation marks again, capital E. Do the same thing for I, capital I. Do the same thing for capital O. Then we have to do capital U. Now we have to do the same thing for all of the lowercase vowels. So same thing for lowercase a, comma, then we'll say quotation marks, lowercase e, comma, same thing for I, comma, or lowercase I, then we're doing lowercase o, boom, comma, then we're doing lowercase u, boom. So now we have all of our vowels, uppercase and lowercase. Now we're going to create an array to hold all of the vowels found in the input string. So we come underneath this, declare variable again, call it v, say colon, open up the square brackets. It's going to be an array of characters. Sorry, y'all. So capital C, character. Boom, come outside of that. We're going to initialize it with a blank array. Boom. Then we're going to loop through each character in the string. So we're going to say for CH and R. We're going to open up the brackets, and if the character is a vowel, we're going to add it to the vowel list. So we're going to say if vowels.contains, open up the parentheses, CH, come outside of that, open up the brackets, v.append, open up the parentheses, CH. Boom. Now we're going to sort the vowels in ascending order, or lexicographic graphical order. So we're just gonna come underneath this and we'll say v.sort and put the parentheses. Now we need an index to keep track of where we are in the sorted vowel list. So we can declare a variable called idx. We'll set that equal to 0 to start. And now it's time to start iterating over the original character array. So we're going to say for I in 0 dot dot less than sign r dot count. Boom. We're going to open up the brackets and we are going to see if the character at position I is a vowel. We're going to say if vowels dot contains, open up the parentheses r square bracket I. Come outside of that, we're going to open up the brackets and replace it with the next sorted vowel by saying r square bracket I. Come outside of that, we're going to set that equal to v square bracket idx. Boom. Then we're going to move to the next sorted vowel by coming underneath this if, or excuse me, still inside the if. We're still inside the if. And we are going to move to the next vowel, sorted vowel, by saying idx plus equals 1. Boom. Then we need to convert the modified character array back into a string because remember, it's an array right now, but we need to turn it back into a string. So we just come right here and say return string, open up the parentheses, and now we pass in R. And that should be all that she wrote, y'all. Let's give it a run before we submit it. Okay, it says cannot assign. So let's see. Let me see here. Oh, let me see. R should be a var, shouldn't be a let. So now let's run it. And it's accepted, so let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. Look at that, y'all. 78 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So with that being said, hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.